Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to basically show you guys how to make beats using loops and basically just like the right way to use loops to make your beats fire. And as always, before we get started, make sure to go follow me on social media at inviral, you know what I'm saying? Tap in with me, but let's get it. So I'll just play you guys the final beat for a sec so you guys can get the feel for it. You know what I'm saying? Just like some Gunna vibes, like, you know, that's why I named it Benihana. We eating good tonight. So I'm just gonna clone, or actually I'm gonna make a new arrangement so I can just show you guys from scratch how I like made every part of that. And yeah, this is pretty much the sample on its own. So as you can see, the first section is with the flute, and then the second section over here doesn't have the flute. So naturally you would just use that for like a verse. So what I did is I just chopped it up like that. And as you can see, it says 140, but I put it down to 130, 123. So you can just do that if you go into here and then do, you know, time, project tempo, and then you can drag it to whatever you want, and then it'll like drag along with it. So that's like a really important thing, because like oftentimes you want to kind of, you know, choose your own BPM, whatever you're feeling for the beat. So what I did is I just kind of, you know, took this little section, used that as the hook, and then this other section is the verse section. So I added these hi-hats, and then I put this rim. And all these sounds, by the way, are from my kit coming up soon, so make sure to stay up with me. I'll let you guys know when I drop it. I usually like to add at least like a rim or a clap, something to get the groove going, and then I started adding my 808, and then this is just like a pretty simple pattern, nothing too crazy with it. So it's important that usually in the sample, it will tell you what key it's in. So in this case, it's an A minor. That's why my 808 pattern started with A, because like that's the first chord. So, you know, just try to figure out the chords. And then I added a kick just to layer it with the 808. And then next I put an open hat. And then the next is a perk pattern. It's actually kind of like a snare. And then what I did is I put another snare, just like alternating. Final drum part that I put in was this clap, and I just alternated this with the rim, so this is instead of the rim for the verse section. After I got those drums, I felt like the beat was pretty much done, but I feel like with some loops, it's cool to add like certain layers of sound, like texture in the background. So for that, I recommend using like pads. So I added actually 2 layers of pads, and one for the verse, this one for the verse, this one for the hook. And yeah, I feel like it's just, I just feel like it's good to get like a little layer of sound on top of this to fill out the frequency spectrum. You know, you kind of want your beats to sound full. This is actually one of the concepts that I talked about in one of my videos called 5 melody mistakes that you're making. So if you want to go learn about that, I'll link it right now. But this is basically what the pad added to the beat. So yeah, it's almost like unnoticeable, it feels like, but this is what it sounds like on its own. but then with the beat, it kind of like glues everything together. And then next, for the verse section, I feel like it was more important to add a pad or something over here, because it's just these chords. You know, the flute goes out, so I felt like it was a little empty. I wanted to add some texture to it, so this is what I added. So for the longest time, a misconception that I had about pads was that you can only make chords with it. Like, I mean, not like it's a rule, but I just thought like that's the only way you can kind of like make it sound good. But it's actually like very nice to use it as like single notes. So like in this example, it just sounds like really atmospheric, you know, instead if you use like a bell or something. Pads have a very slow attack, so it's not like a sound that's like super punchy in your face. It's more like a background thing. So like it's really cool to use a pad for that. So yeah, this is pretty much all the sounds that I used. Now let me just jump back to the first arrangement and show you guys what I did to, you know, glue it all together. And as you can see over here, my automation is actually just like a low pass filter, so you can pretty much use any EQ and, you know, like EQ your highs out and automate it. And I just did that in my verse section to kind of make the guitar sound more muffled and the pad more in the center. I feel like this pad really does a good job of adding an extra layer of atmosphere. And then over here, I just let my chords ride out with my 808, and I actually just made a unique 808 pattern before the drop, and this is what that sounds like. Just do some rolls or something, so you can literally you know, put your patterns down. And kind of like what I like to do with my drums when I'm arranging it is like just take like certain stuff out, a certain section. So like over here you can see I took the hi-hats out for, and then over here I took the hi-hats out for like a little second, and the 808 doesn't come into the second part. Open hats, like claps, kind of switch around, you know, like it's pretty much up to you whatever you do, but it's cool to just like experiment with the arrangement, you know, make it kind of unexpected at certain points. Yeah, pretty much the key thing about using samples is like you just got to be creative with it. You know, if it's a complex sample, you can kind of let the sample do all the work, just add drums on top of it. But if it's more like a simpler sample, you have to add like either a certain sound or maybe put some effects on it and stuff like that, like cool arrangement to kind of make it stand out. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful for you guys to watch. If you liked it, please give it a like and comment below what you thought of it, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.